All right, what's going on, boys? You got a trade recap today for Friday, March 6th. And I took a win. I took another win on ES after taking a break even trade on NQ here. Um, Insanely clear bias. There's a lot to unpack with this trade recap. I'm not going to lie. Lots to unpack. So without further to do, as always, um, oh, and this is just a very, very great way to start after requesting the payout. The balance was at $900, requested 900 yesterday. So the balance was down to 900. Gave myself a two trade buffer, risking about 450 to 500 per trade. And dude, it's just a great way to start and build that buffer back after taking the payout. But regardless, as always, coming into the market open, this was what the charts looked like, and just the most bearish charts I've ever seen. Honestly, like I literally said this. Do I even need to say anything else? Perhaps the most bearish chart I've ever seen. That's literally all I said for my daily bias. Just insanely bearish, and ES was actually more bearish than NQ. Um, and I was still holding out hope for NQ. So my original analysis coming into the morning was obviously super bearish, like attacking these lows, and I just want to see some sort of pullback to a gap and then reactions out of it. And we came up and started to tap into this 15-minute gap on both ES and NQ right before the market opened. If we go to ES here, let me just mark out the market open candle, 9:30. We had started to come up and tap into this 15-minute gap as well. So at this point in time, I realize that ES is closer to the drawn liquidity, but if they're both going to respect it and they're both going to be bearish, I would still rather take it on NQ personally, because NQ usually moves with more efficiency and more volatility, and I haven't taken a trade on ES in a very long time. Um, so, anyways, they both got bearish reactions out of this gap here, coming to NQ, and you can see the executions here. So I'm just going to take them off because they are quite annoying and they take up all the screen. Um, so I mean, NQ gave a good reaction. It gave a good reaction. Um, Came up, rejected out of this gap. You could have either entered. The entry is on this down close candle here, but because we had this little bit of a wick, I was like, in the moment, what I tell myself is, because we had this little bit of a wick up, I would like to see that full candle close down. If we come back down to where the wick is, I just enter. That's how I kind of do it if I just want to see a little bit more on the next candle when the next candle opens. So I entered here, and this was literally the quickest break even trade of all time. And bro, this just goes back literally 1 week ago today. I was down in the dumps. I felt like my account was nearly blown before taking the payout because I didn't go break even on this exact trade. This exact trade on NQ 1 week ago from the day. I did not go break even and I took a full loss. Right here, what do? I go instant break even. Instant break even because we should flush through this internal low. Market open volatility. We've already rebalanced. We're already displacing lower. We should flush through this internal low if we're going to come take this sell side liquidity. So the instant break even, it just protects you. It protected me yesterday. I was able to re-enter yesterday for a win. Protected me today here, and I was able to re-enter on ES for a win. It's just protection. It's not a loss. It's not anything negative. You shouldn't view it as anything but a positive. And that's, you just have to switch. I had to switch my mindset about going break even. It's not a net negative, it's a positive. It's just protection, and it allows you to re-enter if you get a better entry, right? And this would have been a very good RR trade, but like went instant break even at the internal low, and it protected me. So I'm very happy with just the, like, not even with the dollar amount that I've made today, but just the improvements in my trading. And it's like, okay, if we go instant break even and I get break even here, and then we come back down and displace further, okay, I can re-enter. I can re-enter on either NQ, or the opportunity this morning was presented on ES. Um, you can see very same situation, 15-minute rebalance, displaced lower, except on NQ we edged the lows, um, or this was the candle, 935 candle is this big displacement candle past the internal low on ES. And this is what also gave me confidence to enter on NQ, because I saw that ES was dumping. But the 935 candle is this displacement past the internal lows, therefore literally confirming that we're going to go take this daily sell side liquidity. Once this candle happens past these internal lows, there's no way we're not going to go take this liquidity down here. So with that in mind, 935 candle, that's this candle right here, basically the entry candle that I entered on NQ. NQ wicked out the low and got break even on it. Meanwhile, ES opened up this big 1 minute fair value gap. And after getting break even on NQ, I look over and I see that ES is rebalancing to this 1 minute fair value gap. And we have opened up this big gap, and it's like nothing has changed. Like, my emotions might be a little bit, my emotions might be going a little bit crazy just because I got break even, and it was like the quickest break even of all time. But looking at ES, structurally looking at ES, nothing has changed. We're attacking this daily liquid. Like, where else are we going to go? Where else are we going to go? This is so clearly the draw on liquidity for the day, for the morning. Everything is incredibly bearish. We've already rebalanced to the 15-minute gap. We've displaced past the internal low, thus literally confirming this liquidity. So nothing has changed other than the fact that I took a break even on NQ. We opened up this 1 minute gap. So in my mind, what are we going to do? We should hold this 1 minute gap and then deliver. I would normally say deliver efficiently to this sell side liquidity down here. This was the opposite of efficiency, but it still played out. It still played out, and I still took a full win because I followed my rules and went break even on NQ. And in the past, I would have gone break even on ES within this chop here, right? This is terrible delivery. I cannot lie. This is terrible delivery, and it's unfortunate. But what has changed? I set a limit order in this 1 minute gap for a decent RR. I'm pretty sure I set it for like a 1-to-1, but this candle that came up was, oh wait, I ended up market ordering it. I was going to limit order. This was a very strong candle. We came up past where I was going to limit order, so I switched it to market, and I entered with one. Let me just switch this back to NQ for next week. But I entered with one ES contract, so it actually ended up being a slightly better RR than I had anticipated. But regardless, enter within this 1 minute fair value gap. This 1 minute fair value gap should hold. It should hold, and it should deliver us to the draw on liquidity. And I'm aggressive with this entry because of my confidence in the higher time frames and the draw on liquidity, and in the fact that we've already rebalanced and done everything we needed to do. We've already confirmed it, in my opinion. So stop above this fair value gap, above this 1 minute candle body. And I could have easily, I wanted to so bad go break even here. I wanted to go break even here so bad, and I botched the live recording. I really wish I didn't botch it because I had filmed the live entry for this NQ position. I then stopped the recording, and I have it pulled up on my other monitor right here, and I just literally forgot to start recording it again, and in my mind I can see it in my peripheral, so it's like my subconscious mind thought I was already recording it, but I never actually pressed the record button again. So I'll probably post the break even trade on NQ from this morning. But anyways, this was the most chopped delivery. I wanted to go break even on it so bad. I don't know what we were doing here. Like, this kind of chop, it really shouldn't happen. And the amount of times that I'm literally hovered over my break even button, like wanting to put my stop at break even, and I didn't. I kept telling myself, nope, that's not in my rules. That's not in my rules. That's not in my rules. I need to wait for this to hit the internal low to actually have a valid break even point. And that saved me from that added $663 to my P&L that wouldn't have been there if I had broken my rules and went break even. If I had broken my rules and not gone break even here and taken a full loss, that's a net over $1,000 swing on my P&L for the day. It's just the little things. It's nothing about anybody can look at this chart and tell you, okay, we're bearish and this is the drawn liquidity. Pretty much everybody can do that, right? Everybody can come into the market open and see this structure and say, oh, we're bearish. But it's about the executions and following your system regardless of your emotions and regardless of how you feel. That's the difference. That's what's gotten me the payout after my first 2 years of trying to make this work. Literally yesterday, that's what got me that payout. That's what's provided me with success, is following my rules. It's not the technicals, okay? It's not about the technicals. And so yeah, I'm not gonna yap on too long. This was a very good trading week. Very good first day back building this buffer after taking half of the balance, and the balance is literally almost exactly where it was yesterday after taking the winning trade. It's just crazy. So yeah, winning trade on ES, first ES trade I've taken in an insanely long time. I don't plan on trading ES. I don't really want to get into a habit of trading and taking trades and looking and like actively looking for trades on ES, because a lot of times it just ends up in a bunch of cope trades. Oh, NQ isn't moving efficiently. NQ doesn't look that good. Oh, let me just try and take a trade on ES, right? It just ends up in a lot of cope trades. That's why I kind of cut it out from my trading. But this morning was just one of those scenarios where it was just by far the leading index. It was like insane displacement. Everything was confirmed, so I was willing to put on risk, and that's just my discretion and intuition taking over. No plans whatsoever to take a trade on ES. Honestly, no plans whatsoever to even take a trade this morning. I wanted to wait for that payout to completely settle into my bank account before touching this account again. So I literally planned this morning to not take a trade. Literally, I planned to not trade this morning. But I opened the charts, and it's just the most obvious bias and structure that I've ever seen in my life. So how can I not take advantage of that? And that's what it's days like today where everything is just so incredibly clear that you want to execute on, rather than days like up here when we're just chopping and there's not a clear draw on liquidity. When you come into the morning and the bias is this clear, like these are the days you want to be slapping on heavy risk and actually taking advantage of. So all that being said, that's a trade recap for Friday. Amazing way to end the week with a payout and then another win on top of that. I'm just thankful. Thankful that I've finally decided to start taking responsibility for my actions, and that's ultimately what has led to this success, this recent success. So, with that being said, let me know if you guys took a trade this morning. I know someone else in the Discord was able to catch these shorts here on ES, so shout out to you. But yeah, let me know if you were able to take a trade this morning. Yeah, man, as always, I really appreciate every single person who's watching these videos, and I hope you can take some sort of value out of these videos and relate to me. So, yeah, man, appreciate you watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.